Welcome all to the weekly outlook. Bernie here from EWPRO. Getting straight into the weekly outlook, starting with the DXY. Looking at this A, B, C. Always been looking for this 38.2 fib retracement, or even up to that 50 fib after these 5 down. Starting to get up to this 38.2, which is nice on the daily. We do have that bearish divergence forming now. We've broken this top. On the H4, we were looking at this A, B, C here for more upside. We're starting to get bearish divergence in here now, I believe. Yeah. So we're starting to get a little bit of bearish divergence in between these two moves. These two tops here. But if this keeps on going, more than likely we'll lose that bear divergence, and we'll get like a W, X, Y, X2, and then a Z. Looking at the H1, we were looking for that wave Z up last week, and we got that. It's actually gone further than I thought, but we're getting that bearish divergence on the H1 now. So it's starting to get pretty risky to be buying until you get a larger correction. But there still is room up to that 38.2 on the daily. So, and there's nothing to say this isn't over. It's not something I would buy up here. You need a larger correction or something to confirm more upside before you can look for that. You need something to confirm more upside before you can look for more upside. We got that bearish divergence, so you don't want to be going against that. Got it on the daily as well, bearish divergence, so just be careful with your buys. On the AU, so like I've been saying for ages, this wave Y can come down to that 161.8, and now it's actually got there. So on the daily, we're looking at that WXY. We should be starting to see an X2, and then we're looking for that Z down. On the H4, like I said last week, I didn't really like this. We're looking for that like WXY, X2, and then the Z down. But I didn't really like that we didn't get another one up here. So it was a similar size to this one. But yeah, there was a short there. It was a contracting flat, so very difficult to trade. But if you sold under that low, you would have got a nice impulse down for that wave Z. We're bouncing off this daily 161.8. Go down to the H1. We got this contracting flat in here, which made it hard. If I just draw that. Sort of contracting flat in there. So we'll be looking for that. Five down on the H1. More than likely, we should get that. We'll be looking for a correction before you can't sell down here. You got to wait for this correction X2, and then you can look for that Z down. So yeah, there's not really much you can do. You can't. There's no buy setup or sell setup on it at the moment. For the buy setup for this wave X, if you need that like A, then you need the B wave, and then you can trade that C up in X2, and then look for that Z down. You know, when you get trend line break, and you can look for that Z down. At the moment, there's nothing. There's no setup to buy or sell, but this is what you can look for. I'll be looking for that WXYZ, the 5 down. Looking at the EU on the daily. So we're looking at that A, B, C. We've gone and broken below the B wave, the internal B wave, A, B, C in here. So that's nice. I've been saying for ages, you know, but really want to see I'd always like to have seen that 50 fib retrace when we were up here. We were looking for that 50 fib retrace after we got that bearish divergence in here. So we were looking for that 50 fib retrace. It's starting to get there. If you look on the H4, we're looking for this as the flat. We're looking at that WXY, X2, and then a Z down. But because this was so choppy in here, we started to look at it as an A, B, C in here for an A, B, C, and we're starting to get that C down. It's hit the first target. It's nearly hit that second target in the wave C. Last week, I was looking for that. We had a WXY, and this was looking bullish. So I was looking for that Z up. We never got the break of the trend line. We never got a buy set up on it. So you can remove that. So I was looking for that like WXYXZ and then give another one down. But we never got that other one up. There's not really much. We're getting bullish divergence here on the H1. This is, it's going to be hard. We don't really want to be selling down here, but this is looking like a flat in here because we got 3 down in here. So we got an A, B, C. So if you're looking for the short, you can put a sell stop just under this low. Or if you're looking for the buy, you need a bullish flag here, something to confirm upside, something to confirm that this is the actual low. It's not a really nice setup though. We really wanted to see a nice big impulse up, and then a bullish setup to buy, because at this stage this can be, like I said, an A, B, C for more downside. So you just have to be careful with that. If you get the bullish setup, you can look for the buy. If you want to risk the sell, well, you can put a sell stop there just under the low, or wait for a bearish setup on the lower time frames, get a better entry. Looking at the GU on the daily, so we got that A, B, C. Then we got this sharp move up here, and then we're nearly gone back and broken that low. If you have a look on the H4, like I've been saying for quite a few weeks now, we're looking at that WXY. That is the end of the move. And then we got this impulse up and A, B, C in here. And then we get that A, B, C. So we were looking at this as the possible flat in here for an A, B, C. So I'd never ruled that out. Last week, I was more interested in the buy because we had this nice impulse up, giving us that higher high, and we had that bullish divergence. Last week we're in here. We're just giving this, like this was looking very correct until it was looking very corrective for a nice buy up to this ABC, an ABC up to the 100 fib. But as soon as it broke out of this channel here, you know, this was your sell set up here to sell it. Reasonably risky, but yeah, you're looking for that larger flat. You're looking for that A, B, C. Well, you know, hold that trade, look for more downside. On the H1, we don't have any bullish divergence. So, you know, any flag you get, you can sell. So you'd be looking for a WXY, X2, and then a Z down on the lower time frame on the M15. Yeah, you'd want to wait for this correction. You'll have to wait for a correction. You definitely don't want to be selling down here until you get a correction. Give you confirmation that there is more downside. Looking at the NU on the daily, this one's just about come down to that 100 fib. So we got an A, B, C, just about at that 100 fib now. So that's nice. Like I said last week, this was looking very corrective, you know. So we're looking for more downside. This could have finished here for the wave C, but because it was so choppy, you know, we're looking for more downside, and this is a correction. And now you're getting that A, B, C in here. I think this is 100 fib here on the H4. So there is a little bit more downside in it. Have a look on the H4. Yeah, so definitely have to be careful around here because we are at that daily 100 fib. And we do have a internal move down in here as well on the H4. This again, very tricky because we got a contracting flat in here. So you got a WX in that wave Y. You really have to wait for that X2 before you can look for more downside. You definitely don't want to be, you know, selling down here. On the H1, very similar. We got that WXY, looking for that X2 and then a Z. So we can, you know, what we're looking for is the 38.2 retracement. So you'd be looking for the sell. this is looking like a flat in here for more downside too. So you have to be careful. It's not something I would take, but you can put a sell stop just under this low for the flat because we don't have any bullish divergence. But the safer option is to wait for this to be over and then, give you some sort of a correction up in here, up to that 38.2, and then look for your sell. A little bear flag after a trend line break or whatever, however you trade. But I'd be waiting for that X2 and then look for that Z down after the retrace. UY on the daily. So I was looking at this A, B, C, got a nice move down. And then we're getting all this in here. The H4, we got the C down with bullish divergence. Right? So we got all this bullish divergence in here. We got that higher high. So, and we got that higher high here. And on the MACD, really looking for, we got that bull hidden now in here. I said you had to be very careful, but I dare say this is going to turn into something, a larger correction in here. It's so choppy in here. So we only got the 3 down. We had this nice flag here. Most people got this. That was a nice sell. That H4 bull converge, bull hidden. It's not confirmed, and this is sort of looking like a flag in here, a bearish flag in here for more downside. So what I'm looking at is like an A, B, C in here, and then like an A, B, C, A, B, C, and then an A, B, C. So this can be really choppy in here. I dare say, because it's so choppy already, and this move didn't end here after this nice impulse. We're getting all this. I dare say that we will get something more complex, like I just showed you there in here, a large correction, because it's not playing out. Like we should get an A and then a B and then more upside, but it's becoming much more complex. So watch out for the structures in here, and it's mainly just scalping on the lower time frames. Looking at the Swissy on the daily. Oh, that was target that played out for the sell. I'll get rid of all that. Both those targets were hit. So this one's a little bit confusing too, because we've got this impulse, and this looks pretty impulsive as well, and this is impulsive. Then this is the correction. So we're looking for that A, B, C up in here before we get the A, B, C, and then a larger A, B, C before we fall over further. That's what I was looking for on this daily, but we're not getting this internal C up. A, B, we're not getting that C up yet. It has crossed up, but unless, it's not really playing how I would have liked. As you can see, I was looking for that C up in here. This was the sell in here on the H1 back to the 38.2 on the 50 fib. It's become like we've got this higher high here. So we got the higher high. Now we've just got one down, A, looking for a B wave, then a C, and then before we get A, B, C, possibly up to that 100 fib. On the H1, there's really nothing. There's nothing. If that was the end of wave B, we should have got a nice sharp move up and then a correction to buy. This is, it's more like a little triangle in here. So we may get an A, B, C in here, and then you can look for that buy. If you get a little setup for the buy, look for that buy. There's no real setup on it yet for a buy or a sell. So you really need to wait for a setup. But this is looking like the choppiest wave. Then we get another choppy wave in here. So yeah, look for that C up, and then I dare say we get an A, B, C, large A, B, C in here before we get that larger again, A, B, C. So that's the sort of structure I'm looking at. Very difficult to trade because it's so choppy in here. Really need that impulse, correction, and then trade. Looking at the UCAD on the daily, this one's finally taking out that bear hidden, that possible bear hidden we were looking at. So we were looking at that bear hidden here, that possible bear hidden. So now we've broken above there. So we've taken out that bear hidden, which is nice. We've finally taken that out. So we've taken that out of the equation now. So now we're looking for that 50 fib retrace of this move here. We're looking for that 50 fib retrace, like I've said for, well, ages, And we bounced off that weekly 100 fib down here. Now we're looking for that 50 fib retrace. So there is a lot more upside in it, I think. We don't have any bearish divergence. We're looking for that A. This is an A, B, C in the B wave. This B wave, like I said, went a little bit too far. And then we've got that C down, and then we've got that larger A, B, C. We don't have any bullish divergence, bearish divergence. So if we go down to the H1, so we're looking for that 5 up. So we're looking for a WXY. Wait for your X2 before you look for the Z up. If you get a little bearish flag in here, you can look for that C down for an A, B, C in the wave X2. And then you can look for that Z up. At this stage, we're not getting that sell setup or the buy setup yet. But I dare say wave Y is over. So again, we can draw that fib. We're looking for that 38.2 and the 50 fib. We don't really want the X2 to go below this 50 fib, or else it can reverse. So if you get something like this, down to the 38.2, draw your trend line, wait for the break, something to buy, set up to buy, and then look for that Z up. GY on the daily. So we're looking for that WXY, X2, and then the Z up. 123.6 and the 161.8 as your targets. Thought it may have been finished down here, but we got that larger correction. Like I showed for a while now, we've been looking at this as the A, B, C in the B wave, and then we get that A, B, C. It's just about at the 100 fib here now. Ideally, I'd like to see it break below here. And I dare say that's what will happen. We'll get more downside in here. If you look on the H1, again, we can look at it like that. So we're looking for that 5 down. We're not getting bullish divergence in here. So you still can scalp the shorts in this wave while it's starting to get risky. This may be some sort of a flat in here, you know, an A, B, C in here. So this may be the end of wave Y, and then we get some sort of a flat in here for X2, and then we get that Z down. So you could look for that sort of structure. There's really no buy or sell setup on it at this stage. You know, to buy this little bullish flag in here, you know, it's very risky because we haven't got that impulse. We really want, you know, if you draw a trend line here, you want that trend line break, nice impulse up, and then the buy set up for the buy. We're not getting that yet. So you pretty much have to wait, pretty much like the UCAD. We want to see that correction in X2 before you look for the sell, before you can look for more downside. But if you get that nice impulse up, correction in here, well, then you can look for that A. You can trade this C up in X2. And we'll be looking for that 38.2 and the 50 fib retrace. EG on the daily, finally gone. Looks like it's going. This one played out. We were looking for that WXY, X2, and the Z down. Z down, broke the low, didn't get to our targets, 38.2 and the 161.8, but it did break the low, and that's all it needs to do in this wave Z. Still is possible to get more downside here, but we haven't crossed up on the MACD, so wave Z isn't complete. We can't call it complete, but yeah, on the H4, we got this A, B, C down with bullish divergence. We got a higher high here. Got a nice correction in here. You can either wait for the H4 correction wherever this ends. This may not be over, and then wait for a H4 correction. Or on the H1, you're getting, like most of the others, you're getting those 5 up. So you get, so you're looking for those 5 up. This should be coming to an end pretty soon. Oh, wrong one. There's a little bit more upside up to that 161.8. for the safest way. I'll just put this trend line on. So there's a little bit more room up to that 161.8, and then we'll be looking for that 38.2 retracement, and then that Z up. At this stage, I'd be waiting for this X2 before we're looking for more upside. There's no bullish divergence, so you can look for like flag. They're getting risky now. You know, we're starting to get up to that 161.8. So that's what I'd be looking for. Wave wide to finish, and then you may get a sell in the X2, you may not, and then look for that Z up. EY on the daily, nothing's really changed. I should put this on here. So we have that possible bull hidden here. So we're looking for that an A, B, C. We got that bearish divergence, so we're looking for that larger correction, a similar size to this. We have this possible bull hidden here. So to pull the short, you have to wait for that break of this, on the daily, to look for more downside on the daily chart. Need to take out this possible bull hidden. Right? Looking at the H4, so we have this large. I didn't really like this because it didn't go far enough. It didn't go up to the 100 fib. If you look back on, we were looking for this to go up to that 100 fib. It didn't quite get there, which is a shame. But it still did give us a pattern, because we got bear hidden here, and it's gone and broken that low. So it still played out. But yeah, so we're looking for the A, B, C down to this 100 fib. There is still room down to that 100 fib. I can zoom in here. So on the H1, we do have bullish divergence. This, this is looking like a flat here for more downside. So you can put a self stop there. Very dangerous, because we already have bullish divergence. But this wave down may not be over. For the buy, because we have bullish divergence, you can look for a buy as well. If you get a bullish flag in here, you can look for the buy. Yeah, or you can put that sell stop just down here, and you're very risky. But yeah, I'd be looking for that bull hidden. I'll be looking for a nice break, right? And nice correction, and then look for that buy. I'll be more interested in the buy, but you can look for the sells, but very risky when we're down here. Looking at gold on the daily. So that bear hidden that we've been looking at for ages, it never broke this low. This one here didn't quite break that low. So like I said last week, we can look at it as an A, B, C in here, and then an A, B, C as a larger correction before we get more like an A, B, C. Because this one didn't break that low with the bear hidden, sort of made it a little bit harder. On the H4, we got the C down but again, it never got to the first target. We're looking for this A, B, C down to this 100 fib. It never quite got there. So I can take that off. On the H1, like I said last week, this one didn't really do much at all last week. Looking at this as bullish, you know. It's hard because we do have, like I said last week, we've got bear hidden here. So you have to be very careful. It's looking bullish. And I'd like another one up here and then fall over. But the only way you can really sell it when we get these corrections that look bullish, the only way you can sell it for that bear hidden is a break below that trend line and then a bearish setup, and then you can look for that sell. Other than that, it's still looking bullish. You know, you need something to sell, a sell setup to sell it. At the moment, it's more bullish than it is bearish. It's looking bullish on the day, on the H1. So, yeah. WTI on the daily. So we had all this bearish divergence. So, you know, up here. So we're looking for a larger correction, possibly back to this 50 fib. We've got this A, looking at that as a B, and then the C. It's gone, it bounced off. I'll zoom in. Try and zoom in a bit. It bounced off this 100 fib here in this wave C, and I thought, oh, well, that might be all. But then we had that bear hidden on the H4, and we've gone and broken the low. If we go to the H4, see, we just broke that low for a Z wave down with bullish divergence. Now it's giving even more downside. You know, so there was a flat in here. I didn't like it because this is too sharp. You know, this wave in here looks too impulsive to be like a flat in here, but that's the only way we can look at it. Like a WX, we're in a wave Y. We don't have any bullish divergence, I don't think. Just check to see if we got any bullish divergence on there now. No, there's no bullish divergence. So we're in a wave Y. So we're getting an extended wave Z basically. And we can look at this as a flat in here. Like I said, I don't like it. Don't really like it as a flat, but that's what price has given us. So really, why this trend line here holds, you can look for the sells. Like, it's not really giving you setup, but we'll be looking for a WX, Y, probably wait for the X2, and then you can look for the Z down as internal. So I'll just put that on there. On the H1, are we getting bullish divergence? I don't think we are. Again, like most of the others, so on H1 we got a WX. We're in a wave Y now. So you can wait for X2 and then a Z down. Again, like most of the other pairs. Bitcoin on the daily. So, like I said, we have to be careful because on the daily we have that possible bear hit. So we really need to take out this point here before it becomes bullish, because of that possible bear hidden. Looking at the H4, like I showed last week, looking for that WXY. It didn't quite hit that 100 fib last week, and we were looking for more bullish up to that 100 fib, or possibly can get to that 161.8 and then give us the X2 and then the Z up, or it can bounce off that 100 fib and then give us the X2. It's broken through that 100 fib now. So where does it end? You know, we're getting all this bearish divergence. So very, very risky to buy. This one here didn't look too bad, but like I said last week, we'll probably, you know, get up to that 100 fib. This was looking very bullish. On the H1, we've just got that one move up. So you really need to see the correction before you can look for more upside. You don't want to be buying up the top here. So yeah, you have to wait for a correction. If it's a bullish correction, you can look for the buy. If you get a H1 correction in here, you can look for more upside. If you get a bearish setup, you can look for the sell as well, because we do have a lot of that bearish divergence. So, you know, on the H4, and we have that bearish divergence and possible bear hidden on the daily. So SPX on the daily. So this one's still crawling up. Getting a lot of bearish divergence in here. It's just about at that 100 fib. It's not quite there yet, but it's getting very close. So like I said last week, we can look at this as an A, B, C, and then we get that A, B, C down as a flat. And then we get like A, B, C. It looks like that's the way it's playing out as well, as this larger flat here. Looking at the H1, have to be careful, because we do have bear hidden. We've got that bear hidden, possible bear hidden here. So you have to be reasonably careful. I'm in the buy down here on the lower time frames. Put me stop loss into positive territory, just under this low here. As soon as, if I see any bearish setup, I'll be getting out of that buy and looking for the sell for that possible bear hidden. But again, if this is the H4 flat, we're going up to the top. You really needed to take this one. There was a buy set up on the lower time frames in here, or you could have brought this correction, flag here. It was quite risky, but it did go. So really, you need to go down onto the M15, look for a WXY, look for the X2, and then look for more upside to go and break that top. AU200 on the daily. So looking for this like A, B, C in here for more upside. We're getting that more upside. Hasn't got to that 100 fib. Oh, I don't have it on there anymore. On the H4, nothing's changed. We were looking for that. It never reached our target. We're looking for that A, B, C. We got a nice wave C up. It hasn't got to that 100 fib. I think we may have ball hidden here. We do have ball hidden. We do have the possible ball hidden here. This is looking bearish here. More downside. It's looking like a correction. A, B, C for a flat in here, but it never went and broke the low. So this is very tricky. This is why I actually took S&P instead of this pair here or this instrument here, because the S&P gave a better setup. Because this one here, if it gave one down here and broke that low, it did break this low over here, which is all it needed to do. But I would have really liked it to go down here and then give me the bullish setup. That's why I stayed out of this one and took the S&P instead. Gave a better setup. This is, it may be complete and it may not, because we've got A, B, C. If that's a flat, A, B, C. I don't really like it when the C wave doesn't break below the correction. So this was a little bit more tricky, this one. If you're looking for the buy, you need to wait for a flag or something to buy before you can look for the buy. At this stage, I'm just going to stay out of this one until I get something, a nice setup. The DAX on the daily. So we're getting close to that 100 fib. It's not quite there. We've got a lot of bearish divergence here now that we've broken the top. On the H4, we just got this one wave up. So we look at this as a correction and then more upside. We got all that bearish divergence. Have a look on the H1. Yeah, see, we got a lot of bearish divergence on the H1. A lot of bearish divergence. What can you do with this? See, it's giving you like a W, X, Y. You're getting an X2, and then you could look for that Z down. Why this trend line holds, I'd be looking for sells. More than likely, you'll get bear hidden here between this top and wherever this ends here. You may get bear hidden. If you get that bear hidden, or you can look for a sell to go and break that low. The FTSE on the daily. So again, getting a lot of bearish divergence in here. So I was looking at that as a B, A, B, C. This one here, it didn't really go down to that 100 fib where I would have liked. It's gone and broken that top. And now we've got a lot of bearish divergence on the daily. So it's only a matter of time before this falls over. Bounced off that weekly 100 fib as well. So we're getting a lot of resistance around this 100 fib on the weekly. This is a little bit we got a nice move up in here. You're looking at this as a correction and then more upside. In here, we got like a WXY, possibly get an X2 and then a Z down. If you get that Z down, you look on the H1. If you get this Z down, I'd be taking it because this can fall over at any time. So we got like a WXY. We're getting an X2 here now. You may get bear hidden here as well. There's no bear hidden there at this stage, but if you get one more down here and then another one up here, you more than likely will get bear hidden. I'd be looking for that short for like at least a WXYX for that Z down. I wouldn't be missing that Z down because it may completely fall over on you and you get a nice big trade, or it may be just a Z down. When we're at these highs, you don't want to miss any sell setup. Any sell setup you get, you want to be taking them. So that's about it for the weekly outlook. I hope you enjoyed the weekly outlook and got something out of it. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you out there next week.